All right, let's listen to this.
We're reinforcing standards to be fit, not fat. In our formations, we welcome back all the COVID, the folks who were forced out because of the COVID mandate, ripped wokeness out of the military, sir, DEI, trans, and it's Fort Benning and Fort Bragg again, and the DOD.
So a couple things from Pete Hegseth. In case you guys don't know, Pete Hegseth is the Secretary of Defense on this administration, and he came up with a couple very, very important points here. So the military is going to be fit and not fat, and we'll discuss that a little later on in this video. Make sure you hit like and subscribe. It really helped the channel out. Thank you guys. So he also mentioned that the COVID mandate that forced people out of the military, they're going to cancel that out and they're going to bring those guys back. And I really think that's a very, very good approach, because a lot of those guys, they didn't agree to get the COVID vaccine and they got kicked out. And I'm very happy for them, because they are coming back and hopefully they can back pay them as well. And they rip wokeness out of the military, trans and DEI. Also, they are renaming Fort Benning and Fort Bragg. They putting their original names, Benning and Bragg. I don't know if you remember, a couple years ago, they decided to change names of those army bases. So they're going back to the original name, okay, which is good. All right, so let's take a look at this. So Pete Hegseth was talking about the military being fit and not fat. It was based on this report that came out early this year, around April or May, saying that more than 2/3 of reserve troops and guards are overweight. Guys, we're talking about almost 65% of the personnel were classified overweight or obese. This is very, I think this is a very, very, I don't want to say sad moment for the service, but it's very important that they can come up with something good and crack down these numbers, because 65% of personnel classified as obese or overweight, that's not good. Those people will not be able to deploy because they don't meet the standard, and that means that the force will be dragged down because of these people. They cannot deploy. And in the same token, we're not meeting our recruiting numbers either. So we need to crack down these numbers. We need to enforce the physical and readiness standards across all services. I think this is something that they really need to work on, and I'm hoping they do, because I've seen a lot of service member while I was in, they were like way too overweight and they still serving. I mean, I'm not saying kick them out in 24 hours, but at least give them the tools that they can, I don't know, maybe they can drop weight and become more healthy, or give them the proper class, or discuss with them the eating habits. I don't know, try to do something. But I'm telling you, 65% of that, I mean, that's a very, very high number. The military should be the most lethal force to be ready to deploy and destroy the enemy, okay, and defend our freedom. And with these numbers, I don't think we'll be able to do that. I don't think we won't. So after this, the Pete Hegseth, the SecDef, came up with the with this memorandum. Let me show it to you real quick, guys. I'm not gonna read the whole thing, but at least the second paragraph. That way you can get the big picture. So pretty much he's directing the Undersecretary of Defense Personnel and Readiness to gather the existing standards set by the military department pertaining to physical fitness, body composition, and grooming, which includes, but it's not limited to, beards, which is that's pretty good. I'm pretty sure a lot of service members will be happy if they allow some type of beards. We'll see. The USD will conduct a review of these standards and how they have changed since January 1st, 2015. So we're talking about they're going to make a review out of this, because the last one was 10 years ago. The review will also provide insight on why those standards change and the impact of those changes. The USD has the authority to task the secretaries of the military departments and other DoD components heads as necessary to provide any required information in support of this review, and will provide detailed guidance to the military departments. So pretty much the Secretary of Defense is directing the USD, the Undersecretary of Defense, to gather the information from the past 10 years, all those changes that they have made and the impact they had, and review all the programs, the body composition, the physical fitness program, and all that. So I think this is a very, very good approach from Pete Hegseth, coming in hot, cracking down these the programs in place within the military, and hopefully he can get it done quickly, because we don't know what's going on, what's going to happen in the next couple of months or years, and we need to have that the military components, all of them, 100% physically and ready to deploy. Because if you look at the big picture, 65% of that is a big number for the reserve and guards. We're talking about more than half of the actual force is overweight and obese. And I believe the main reason of that is because the guards and reserve, they don't go to a unit Monday to Friday where they have to do a physical fitness with the unit. Okay, I mean, reserve and guards, they go to their unit once a month, 1 week in a month, and pretty much a Saturday and half of a Sunday. And when they go Saturday, they just doing online training, checking equipment and all that, and they don't have that slot time to do physical activity. So I think this is something that, I don't know, they need to come up with something or change the actual system, or making it required for guards and reservists to check in weekly their weight and their physical fitness, and go from there. Because I mean, if you are a reservist and a guard, when you have a Monday to Friday job as a civilian, you probably don't have the time to train, and then they are expecting you to meet the standard when you only show up once a month. I think that's pretty tough on those guys. But at the end of the day, it's personal. You need to eat healthy, exercise, go to the gym, and try to be fit, man. Because once you become fat, once you are overweight, you're gonna experience a lot of health issues. Okay, so nothing, guys. I just wanted to update you guys with that. Make sure you like, subscribe, share this content. It really helped the channel out, and thank you so much for your support.